Okay. Ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, dogges, welcome. Welcome. Wow, have I got a surprise for you. Hello, Marilee Tolan. Can't wait to meet you in person. That's going to happen one day, right? The Troy Johnson, thank you for inviting followers. Finding De Niro, you scamp. Nice to have you back. So, hey, Troy Johnson and is a pain ticket to LA. I don't understand the question, Finding De Niro. Kimberly Skinner, very early adopter of the following of me thing. Plexus Rocks, greetings from Colorado. Love Colorado. Haven't been there in a while. My sister used to live there. Steve Bullock joined. Thanks. Foyjin. Okay, so look, as you haven't changed a lot from the Secret movie. I believe that I have. I wish I had a picture right here. Nobody ever recognizes me. That's a true story, by the way. I was recognized one time ever in a grocery store. So let me introduce myself to those of you who are new to this cast from some. What about that here? New to this cast. In fact, well, I need to do it. Scattered thinking. This is what happens when your mind is too many ideas. If you're new, I'll introduce myself briefly. My name is Bob Doyle. And my name is Bob Doyle Secret because I was part of a film and book project a few years ago called The Secret, and it was kind of a thing in the personal development industry community. It still is. Now I realize I have this thing over my head. I look like like I play in The Sims. Anybody play The Sims? Are we getting this? Is that hilarious to anyone at all besides me? Oh, is there a problem with my audio? Hold on a sec. Let's try this. Is this better? If this is better, give me some hearts or whatever. There's something still wrong with my audio, or is Finding De Niro messing with me? Seriously, static on audio. Even right now, it's better. It's better. Okay, good. All right, I unplugged this little microphone I was using. Experiment failed. Okay, awesome. Hey, Dad, Fernie. All right. Thank you for letting me know that it's better. Boy, see, I have such a hard time saying hello to everybody. Ephraim, good to have you here. You don't know how to give me hearts. You just tap on the screen, Nori. I thought for sure you knew. Nori, it's so good to have you here. And Ephraim, too. These guys are my support system. Okay, where was I? Oh, yes, The Secret. And The Secret was about the law of attraction, or basically how to create your life by design. And that's work I've been in since about the year 2002. Actually, a little bit before that, but more specifically the law of attraction since then. I wanted to give a shout out to Melanie Bundock. I don't know if she's in here, I missed it. But I visited her cast this morning, and if you're a fan of this whole conversation, law of attraction, releasing resistance, living life by design, should follow her, Melanie Bundock, B-U-N-D-O-C-K. God, I hope that's right. She's been a big follower of ours, and she pops onto all of our things. Thank you for the hearts. Pops onto our cast and is a great, contributes and all that. And so, yeah, I love her. And so I got her to cast this morning, and I'm telling you, first of all, you just got to go. I mean, she's just got this wonderful energy. She's an EFT practitioner. She was talking about manifesting, giving great advice, and all of that. So you don't know what it is. You're wrong. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Yeah, so really good, and I just loved being in there. But really, what was amazing was I got in there, and suddenly, boom, follow. I got all these follows. I'm not one to give Periscope tips. That's more Lynn Rose, at Lynn Rose, who does that. And I know she says this all the time. And I hear her tell at Joe Simon, who most of you probably know because we talk about him incessantly on our various shows. Hearts maybe for Joe, who knows? But if you really want to get followers, just go check in on other people's casts and say hello and comment and things like that. And that's just the best way. And today was just huge proof of that. All right, that is not why I'm here. I'm not here today to tell you about how to gain followers. Follow your passion, find your power. So you must have been on there this morning, right? Because I shared the name. She was asking like suggestions for books. And I was like, well, you could suggest my book. And actually, it's really hard to type. Well, you could suggest my book so that it comes across, but somehow. Now, you're saying read the book or you read the book. See, because read, that's that goofy English language. Yeah, I know. I do miss Lynn. But I've gotten a lot done today. And you know what I've heard a lot less of? All right. But, anyway, so yeah, now Lynn is off at the National Speaker Association. If you follow her, you know this is like a big, huge freaking weekend deal for her, and I'm very excited for her, and she's been working and preparing very hard for that. Speaking of Lynn, how about if I talk about why I invited you all here today? It has nothing to do with the law of attraction or anything like that. It is what I think is the greatest gift that Lynn has ever given me, and the fact that I think that will tell you a lot about me. And I think that some of you, most of you, will want one. Yes, finally. I know, the build-up, right? All right. All right, we've all seen these, right?
That was easy.
Right? Or most of us have seen, you've all seen the that was easy button. You have the you have this button in your office. No, come on, catch up now. We're into it now.
That was easy.
But her friendship, you're right, is truly the greatest gift I could have. But anyway, so everybody's seen that was easy, right? We've had it around the office. We use it, and you know, if it's used appropriately, it's always good for a giggle. If it's overused like anything else, not good. Check this out.
I love Periscope. I love Periscope.
Now, that in itself is cool.
I love Periscope.
I've got an I love Periscope button. Oh, but no. You may recognize that that's my voice.
I love Periscope.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the custom That Was Easy button. That was really easy.
That was really easy. That was really easy.
I must have just static following me around. Let me do one where I'm not, let's see. Welcome, Merrily Tolan. Now, I wouldn't have everyday use for that, obviously, but it'd be funny.
Welcome, Merrily Tolan.
If Lynn and I are just in the middle of a conversation and I say, excuse me.
Welcome, Merrily Tolan.
Right? So just think of the possibilities. Who would not want one of these? You could say anything. One of my favorites from yesterday was, this'll never get old, right? So then,
this'll never get old. This'll never get old. This'll never get old. This'll never get old.
Anticlimactic, Finding De Niro, I didn't expect you to be impressed. I'm glad you're here. But I didn't expect you to be impressed by this. Yes, I miss Lynn Rose. Of course I miss Lynn Rose. Where do you get them? See, that was the big question I knew. I don't know exactly where she got it. How about that? Because it was a gift. And in fact, she wasn't going to give it to me until later, but she screwed up and left it on the bathroom counter. I said, what's this thing? And she goes, oh! But I'm so glad that she left it before. So I will tell you how to get it. I will tell you how to get it because it says right on the back. And what's funny is when you go to this website, it looks like it was created like 20-something years ago, the website. I'm not kidding. www.customeasybutton.com. Right?
This'll never get old.
Okay. How many moments do you need finding De Niro? All right.
This'll never get old.
We're going to really test that theory for the rest of this. You're over the easy button or the...
This'll never get old. That was easy.
Anyway, I think it's hilarious. And that's what I was saying it tells you about you. So yes, queen of props. She sure is. She loves the sound effects machine. And it was kind of annoying. Hey, curiosity, I don't know, hearts, thumbs up, whatever. How many of you were on the show that Lynn and I did the other night when it was on my station, my channel, and I was talking about Andy Shaw and the Bug-Free Mind and all that stuff, and Lynn was beside me. You talking to me? Okay, so Marilee, you were there. Anyone else? Anyone else? Boy, you were, huh? Okay. Nabby Subi. What is her name again, for real? Hold on. Maybe it is Nabby Subi. It just says Nabby Subi. She's an attorney. She's an entrepreneur. She's a realist, a dreamer. A realist and a dreamer. And, ladies and gentlemen, she is loving life. It says so right there on her profile. And why would she lie to us? Kurt Elliott has joined us just in time. Kurt, I'm telling you, you missed the big announcement, though. You have to watch the replay to find out what the big gift was. But Finding De Niro was not impressed. All right, so anyway, those of you who were here when I was talking about Andy Shaw, and I will say thank you to those of you who acted on what I said and went and checked it out. I'll talk about it here in a second because it actually, the whole thing I talked about goes away in, what is today? Thursday? Tomorrow, I think, tomorrow night. Anyway, so I'll tell you about that in just a second. But Some of you went, acted on it, took me up on my offer, and so that's very exciting. But when you watched that video, you may have noticed that there was a little tension going on during the course of that video. Did anyone notice that? If you noticed that, tell me so. And if you didn't notice that, said, no, I didn't notice that at all. You noticed it. You noticed it. Anyone else notice it? Awesome. That's great. Well, let me just say that that particular cast has been a topic of conversation around here. And so, I mean, we laugh about it now, but I just wanted to share with those of you who are our dear friends and come to our casts and follow me and tell people to follow. That was this. I was exhausted. I'd been waiting all day to do that Periscope, and I fret over scopes before I do them. I still don't just go, oh, I'm going to do one. I did when it first came out, and then it started getting complicated. Did anyone ever notice that every other scope you listen to is about how to do a better Periscope or how to get more followers, and it's all just the whole how do you get to leverage this? And I'm like, wow, I just don't need to learn another thing. But anyway, hey, I am Reynolds Rose. You know what would be really great is if you could. This is a great feature request. You could toggle whether you see their @ username on your screen or whether you see their actual name. So instead of @ whatever that it doesn't understand, it could be instead of @ Bob Doyle Secret, you would see Bob Doyle from The Secret because that's the full name I have out there. That way, when people jump in, you could just say, "Hi, Brian," "Hi, whomever," instead of going this, "Who are you?" It does make you check out their profile though, so it's a give and take. Where the heck was I? I built up my whole day around doing this and really communicating that because that whole Andy Shaw thing is really super important to me personally. It is not like some throwaway marketing thing that I was trying to do. It was just like truly, hey, I believe in this. You've got this window of opportunity to go do this. And I really just wanted to connect in that way. And I didn't fully explain that to Lynn. And I did want her there because I wanted her to basically validate everything I was saying about the impact that Andy Shaw's work had had on my life. And but then she was commenting, playing with the comments, and I couldn't get a sentence done. And so that's when you started to see me get a little, pushing her off the screen or whatever. But this is just in transparency because it was actually a really interesting, several days of conversation around how are we going to do these periscopes. What are the boundaries? And, because couple scopes, there's lots of couple scopes, and Lynn and I do it very differently. I mean, we have the thing that we do together, but then she'll just be doing one and I'll come in and I'll just be doing one and she comes in. So like, what are the rules? How do you navigate that? So that's something that we have, that we had some discussion about. I was actually, but the thing is, that was the thing. I thought that's how I love Periscope is no boundaries. And I used to give Lynn a bunch of grief around structure and all that when she did it, and then it happened to me. Then I actually wanted a structure, and I just didn't communicate it. Like I just wanted to be able to get that part out, and then we could play. I had the ukulele ready and all that other stuff. Anyway, just sharing that little slice of life with all of you, because that's what connecting on Periscope is all about, Charlie Brown. Okay. Wow. All right. So what else did I want to say? Oh, well, let me just allude to the Andy Shaw thing, and then I'm going to go because we've got 11 in here and all of that. Basically what I was talking about was wow, how do I do this quickly? BobDoyleLikesThis.com/think. The best thing, the quickest thing I can say is just go to that. It's not my site. It just directs you to the right area. BobDoyleLikesThis.com/think, and just download the course on structured thinking. Now, if you would just take my word for it and do it, that's all I'd have to do, and you could just go do it, and then you could thank me. And by the way, I am not kidding. I've had people direct Twitter message me thanking me for sending them to this very thing that I'm sending you to. I would not make that up because that's silly. I wouldn't make that up. And yet I knew it would happen because the stuff is just that good. So It's by a guy named Andy Shaw. He wrote a book called A Bug-Free Mind, and the whole concept is that over the course of our lifetime, this operating system of ours has picked up bugs, all sorts of different bugs in the forms of limiting beliefs and things like that, improper use of language, all sorts of stuff, so that our thinking is all chaotic, and therefore our life, from a law of attraction point of view, shows up as chaotic, because that's, you're putting out that chaotic energy. We process thoughts from so many different people's external belief systems that aren't even necessarily our own, and certainly not the truth. And what Andy's work does is it's all about untangling all of it. And it is a process. This is not a 37-page ebook. This is an investment in, and what I'm talking about is his full A Bug-Free Mind program. That's what is the investment in time. But what I'm sending you to for free is just something from him about how to get better structured thinking. It's a beginning, it's an introduction to his work, and I just absolutely recommend that you go get it. And that's all I'm going to say. BobDoyle.com/think. Bob Doyle, that's funny. BobDoyle.com/think. By the way, I was going to do and then I'm going to end this, I promise. I was going to do a voiceover scope today, because I do a lot of voiceover, and in fact, it's getting a little crazy how much is coming my way these days. And so what I wanted to do was just hook up Periscope, and for anyone who just cared at all a little bit, I didn't care if there was 2, 3 people in the room, maybe it goes up to, who knows. Just watching a voiceover session, I would talk you through, well, here's how the script comes in, here's where I get mad at them for not proofreading it, here's where I send it back, and here's the software I use, and here's how I read it, and here's how I do, just the whole process. But the biggest job I had today is, it's a very, yeah, Ryan, do you have a good voice too? We'll have to have you, I have to hear it. Oh yeah, so the big job I had today though was this one for, I guess it's for an exercise DVD or something like that. So it's a lot of me just going, exhale, inhale. Okay, we're going to do it 10 more times. 9, 8, like that, for a really long time. I'm not even halfway through it yet. And because you have to pause 2 seconds between every single line, and there's a zillion lines. But, it's a good gig. It beats lifting heavy objects. Am I right, ladies and gentlemen? The lifting of heavy objects? All right. Anyway, but sometimes I get some really interesting ones. Sometimes I get some that I don't know that I would do on Periscope. That's very rare. But every now and then I get these scripts that are just like, really? Are you serious? But I do them anyway because it's fun. It's tremendous fun. So one of these days, and especially now that Lynn's gone, I need something to entertain me. So I might start scoping my voiceover sessions, and even if it's for the benefit of one person. If I could just affect one person. And actually, if you do that, I will give you some tips. Not about, my mind is spinning here. Let's just do this. If you ever see me post that I'm doing a voiceover session or something like that, just follow. Give me 5 or 10 minutes of your time, and you'll get a vibe as to whether or not this is somewhere you'd like to be or not. Because what I was spinning about just now in my head was about another thing that I could talk about during those sessions that could maybe help a lot of you in terms of revenue generation. The whole story of how I'm doing voiceovers again after many, many years of not doing them is in and of itself could be a whole series of Periscopes, because I say so. And you just have to trust me, because that's the kind of relationship we have. Am I right? Okay. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you came in late and watched the replay, I'd love it if you shared the cast. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell that story. And I think it'll naturally come out as I do these voiceover scope-overs. What should I call them? All right. Anyway, so everyone have a wonderful day. Again, I'm Bob Doyle at Bob Doyle Secret. Would love if you would follow me. If you're interested in anything that I do at all, boundlessliving.com is my main website. It is, I'd say, 75% done. I've been redoing it. But you can get an idea of like who I am, what my background is, some of the stuff I'm up to, and lots of free stuff, And access to the YouTube channel with lots of information based on the work that I do. Okay, I hope everybody's having a wonderful whatever day of the week it is for you where you are, and we will scope again together very soon.